Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dimitri and today I want to talk about Mercedes-Benz EQS design. EQS just came out to the market last year. I like the overall design of the car, the build quality, materials used, the hyperscreen. But when you look at the car in person and also from the side profile, something doesn't look right. The car's proportion remind me of some sort of economic car. As you can see in these images, something a bit wrong in its front side. So I want to look in deeper. What is wrong? We all got accustomed to see expensive, powerful top-of-the-line cars that have longer hoods. For example, take a look at this Mercedes SLS, AMG GT, or even the S-Class itself. They all have in common these longer hoods, or specifically what I want to see and analyze is this dash-to-axle ratio. It's longer on a traditional, more expensive cars. But first, what is this ratio? Dash-to-axle ratio is a distance between the front axle to the base of an A-pedal of the car. Now I want to look at economic cars. So let's start just with the cheapest Mercedes-Benz model. It's A-Class. You can see that dash-to-axle ratio is much shorter compared to more expensive cars. Even if you look at Honda Civic, the dash-to-axle ratio is short as well. And this is common across multiple car brands, whether it's brand like Mercedes or Honda. You see more economic cars have this ratio. So, okay, let's now look why we get accustomed to see these cars with a longer dash-to-axle ratio, thing that is expensive. I wanted to look back at the history when the cars just came out. For example, this Ford T model, you see it has small engine. Of course, it didn't need a lot of space. The engine, transmission, radiator, they all were placed in line and the firewall was separating it from the passenger compartment. But in contrast, as time went on, you look at this beautiful car, this Bentley Speed 6. Of course, you see that has larger dash-to-axle ratio. Of course, you needed that huge engine to fit in that space. Another example is 1931, this Daimler 66 4050. So as you can see, this ratio became an indicator of a powerful, expensive, and prestigious car. And now let's step back in and look at the EQS again. It has much smaller dash-to-axle ratio. So for me, as well as other car enthusiasts who look at the car, it's kind of hard to give it association of expensive vehicle, especially when you look at the models like AMG model, which starts off close to $150,000 plus here in US. But let's step back and think, like, why would Mercedes-Benz go off the traditional ratio if this is such an amazing brand? In full disclosure, I'm a big fan of Mercedes for many years, since back in my home country and back here in US. I'm a huge fan of the brand. But let's think, like, why Mercedes-Benz would want to do such a change and step away from the tradition of preserving this longer ratio. Especially they have these amazing vehicles like I showed earlier. So for many car brands, AV lineup is opportunity to create new design language, something where the car brands can create a model that is very distinguished from traditional combustion engine vehicle. You can even see that in Hyundai Ioniq model has very different design language from the rest of gas-powered cars, and I think design is gorgeous. But stepping back to Mercedes, yeah, so they want to create something completely new. If you look at what Chief Design Officer said, Gordon Wagoneer, they want to create the most progressive proportions. And I think definitely it's progressive proportion. It's so-called one-bow design where the roofline above the passenger compartment is stretched as a ball. It gives a coupe-like silhouette, and it also gives the car additional benefits besides these new proportions. It gives the car extra interior space and efficiency. So in terms of interior space, the car has now more space than S-Class. Even so, the cars are about the same lengths on the outside. But in terms of efficiency, look at this table and you can see how successful Mercedes-Benz built with EQS efficiency. Given everything I said, yes, the car, definitely interior is amazing. Exterior from the back looks great. But this front portion really, I think, will stop a lot of people from getting the car unless we're gonna get accustomed to it. Similar like BMW 4 Series, when it initially came out, I really kind of hated it. And then with time, it became more like an acquired taste. And now if you look at BMW 4 Series, me personally, especially M4, I really like it. I can't even look back at regular previous generation 4 Series. It looks to me outdated. So maybe it's similarly acquired taste for this EQS side view. I don't know. My question for you is, the new design of EQS really a revolutionary for the luxury class, or breaking away from a century-old visual language is too progressive for now? What do you guys' thoughts are? Leave me comments below. Any questions? Looking forward to respond to them all and work on the next video.